Hello everybody, I hope you are doing great. Welcome back to our channel Meta English. So in this lesson we are going to discuss conditional type 2. What is the meaning of conditional type 2?
What is its form?
When do we use it?
So let's start with this dialogue. So as to put you in the context, my friend and I have decided to travel, and we have decided to take the train as a mean of transportation. So listen carefully to this dialogue. How are we going to travel?
So we are going to take the train. If we took the bus, it would be cheaper, but the train is quicker. Before we talk about the form of conditional type 2, let us make a slight comparison between both the form of the conditional type 1 and conditional type 2. So in the conditional type 1, the form is if plus present plus the simple future. And we use it to talk about possible result in the future or either in the present. Okay, then we will move to the conditional type 2. The form of the conditional type 2 is if plus past, simple past, plus would plus infinitive. And we use it in order to express hypothetical situation or impossible things about the future or the present or the imaginary situation. That is the use. Okay, so as to clear the image, so let's give an example. Take this example. If I were a bird, I would fly to London. But in reality, I'm not a bird, then the result, I will not fly to London. It is only in my imagination.
In order to understand more conditional type 2, you have to take into consideration these three keywords, which are hypothetical, impossible, and imaginary situations. Hypothetical, impossible, and imaginary situations. What do I mean by imaginary and impossible situations? In the present, of course. It means that you are given a condition that would never happen, and the result, of course, would never happen. Let's give some examples so as to reach your logic. If someone asks you, what would you do if you were in Tangier, for example? What would you do? You say, if I were in Tangier, the first thing I would do is visiting my uncle. This is an example. Let's give more examples. What if someone asks you for an advice? An example, if I say, I'm actually confused. I don't know whether to pursue my studies, for example, in physics or in English studies or in mathematics studies and so on. And I want to ask for an advice. What would you say in this situation? You may say, if I were you, which means if I were in your situation, what would I do? If I were you, I would choose physics, of course. If I were you, I would choose physics. What does it mean? Why am I using here condition number 2? Because the if clause would never happen. I will never be you. And here we should pay attention to a breach of the rule here, which is if I were, not if I was, but if I were, because if always takes were, not was. So that's the point. And of course, as I said, condition number 2 is always to talk about imaginary situations and impossible situations in the present. If I won a lottery, for example, I would buy a big house. But of course, I'm not going to win a lottery, so the result clause wouldn't happen. إذا باش نعطيو واحد الخلاصة وجيزة باللغة العربية للكونديشنال تايب 2، أول حاجة هو الشرط رقم 2. وكيف ما قلنا من قبل كاين الشرط رقم 0، الشرط رقم 1، الشرط رقم 2، الشرط رقم 3. الشرط رقم 0 كتكون حقيقة عامة، وقعت هذه توقع هذه اوتوماتيك. الشرط رقم 1 كتكون كاين احتمالية أنها ما توقعش، يعني كنخدموا هنا الفيوتشر أو الموديل. لكن في الشرط رقم 2 خصنا نحضيو مع واحد 3 ديال التعابير اللي هو الافتراض والخيال وأيضا أشياء مستحيلة. حاضر مستحيل، حاضر مستحيل يمكنش يوقع ابدا مره. داكشي عطينا اكزامبلز، قلنا الا طلب منك شي واحد شي نصيحه مثلا، قال لك ما عرفتش مثلا واش نختار الفيزيك في لافاك او الماط او لونغلي او اش. في هذه الحاله هذه باش انت تقدم له واحد النصيحه، غتقول له مثلا كون كنت بلاستيك غنختار الفيزيك. في هذه الحاله هذه القاعده الجمله كيفاش تقرا باللونغلي هي if I were you I would choose physics. If I were you, I would choose physics. علاش قلنا هنا impossible situation in the present؟ حتى ما عمرك ما تكون هو مستحيل، لكن كتعطي واحد الافتراض اللي هو مستحيل والنتيجه ديالو ايضا كتكون مستحيله. كون كنت بلاصتك كنت نختار فيزيك. if I were you I would choose physics. نفس الامر ربما يقول لك شي واحد اش كنتي دير مثلا الا كنتي دابا مثلا في طنجه، تقول له كون كنت في طنجه غادي نزور مثلا خالي هو الاول. for example you say if I were in Tangier I would visit my uncle first. وهنا كنلاحظوا واحد الاختلاف ديال القاعده اللي هو اش كنعرفوا حنا في الكتب بانها I was you were الى اخره، لكن هنا درنا I were. وهذه قاعده ديال اف، ديما اف كيوقع معها هذه القواعد ديال انها كتخترق verb to be. يعني مثلا كتخليك كتخدم were مع كل شيء I were you were he were الى اخره. So هذه هي النقطه العامه على condition number 2. ديما خدموه باش دير واحد الاحتمال اللي يستحيل يوقع.
Now it is time to squeeze your mind and do these exercises in order to check your knowledge if you understood where to use the conditional type 2. That was all about this video. See you in the next one where we are going to talk about the conditional type 3.